Hello, my water element. This is High Priestess Key 333 coming to do your element messages, right? So you guys know I always come in after I do the moon energy readings and I try to get to the elements. So you guys know I do element reads over here on All in the Cards. You can check out over there. I will soon have up the July energy for the zodiacs and so forth. Okay. I'm gonna be working on those tomorrow, and I may do a full live. Not sure how I'm gonna do that yet. I may do a live, or I may do a live in reference of some other things like your money or something like that. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. Make sure when you come into the room, you hit the like button on the video. Water element is just that, right? Water is about emotions, okay? Water is about your intuition. Water is about that discernment. Water is about your feelings and your way of how your emotions and your feelings can shift your energy so strongly, right? And it's also about utilizing the element of water, right? And your rituals and things that you may resonate with. So anyone could be resonating in reference of being more in a specific or utilizing a specific element. It doesn't just have to be that these messages resonate with you if you're not a water sign, okay? So these messages may resonate more with the sign of Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces because they are already water in their chart, but we are all signs. I always tell you guys that, right? It's just that more will be prominent in reference of your birthright, okay, and your birth date and so forth, and the time that you took your first breath. But we don't have to get into that. Let's get into your messages, water, and let's see what the ancestors want you to know. Okay, over here, you guys know I don't use tarot cards. I use my cards that I have created with my ancestors to bring through messages specific for you. Okay, so let's get into it because I don't want these to be that long. All right, water. Let's see what the ancestors want my water element to know at this time. What is it that the element of water, what is the message for the element of water at this time? And this is right here. Element of water, what is it that you want them to know? My water element energy. Ancestors, thank you. Ashe. Okay, so yeah. Okay, water. All right, water. You are enduring a lot when it comes to I have a card that's upside down for you, okay? But that card lets me know that you're enduring some things in reference of your finances, some things in reference of business, maybe even communication that may be upside down for you right now, okay? And the ancestors is showing that that's also the way that you're attracting some things. So maybe there, and it's because you're going through, like a lot of my water element, you're going through a dark night of the soul right now. Okay, you're going through a time of like the full moon energy. Okay, because I have that's on your soul, and it's also about the things that you should be confessing and speaking about, repenting and have asking for mercy from your ancestors throughout this change. Right, it's a big transition, transformation you're going through, but the ancestors want you to release, okay? Embrace the energy, right? Sit with it, but then release it and reassess and reflect, okay? And bring the darkness to the light, okay, water? And right now, doing that in the aspect of water element into going through that transformation, it could be a lot that's happening around your career. It could be a lot that's going on just in the element of your health as well, or even family, right? And so the ancestors is just telling you, it's all about sacrificing some things also at this time for yourself that's going to change in your future. You have a lot of things that's changing in your future, water element, okay? And the ancestors showing me that the way that you're trying to make it happen for yourself at this time, because I am seeing that in here, right? Because the ancestors showing me that in the law of inspired actions, you are inspired, and the ancestors gave you control the outcome of what you're inspired to do right now. But you do get a lot of envy and jealousy that comes your way, right? Ancestors definitely showing that you may be feeling that type of energy, but once again, this is all about you, right? And what you desire is what you can have at this time. because what you've endured does not define you. It's about you being in alignment. It's about you following all the rules and operating out of integrity as well. But knowing that what you've caused, that you have sacrificed, and the things that you may be constantly overthinking some things when it's about like thinking about what you have caused or what you have decided to do, or maybe even some decisions that you made, right? The ancestors is saying, and that could have went back towards some trauma, drama, whatever you went through, something legal. It could have went back to just you being divine, or whatever strife you went through in your life. The ancestors is showing that what you've been through is going to change in your future, though. Okay, you're actually, in reference of your finances, the ancestors want you to have faith over fear. Okay, be of gratitude when it comes to the law of compensation and even love, because the ancestors said your light shines bright. Okay, water. But hold on tightly to what is good, is what the ancestors is saying, because there's peace that's in this energy here in reference to your finances. Right now, you're on the future realm in reference of the law of compensation, water, and the ancestors say this is in reference of your career, your finances, your health. This is around, the blessings that are coming in for you. You're being monitored. So at this point in time, when you're being monitored by the spiritual realm, that lets you know you must do everything you can to pay it forward, to, do the greater good, do the things for your ancestors, do that ancestor work, put in your work spiritually, because you are being monitored and you are transforming just in that way, right? And so some things, they become very emotional for you while you're going through these trying times in your living conditions, your home life, whatever's happening around that, right? It's making you very emotional. So you have those emotional things that are making you maybe even cry a lot, right? Making you feel like, you're never going to come out of it or whatever, because it's so dark. But I'm seeing healing here. Okay. I'm seeing the ancestors step in for you. Some of you are very, you have your clair, so you're very clairvoyant, clairaudience, whatever it is that the clairs that you have recognized, they are coming full steam ahead, right? And also empaths, okay? But I have some signs here: Gemini, Leo, Capricorn, Virgo, here that you could be dealing with, or could be in your chart as well, if this resonates with you. But what I will say, based off of the rim that you're on overall, this is definitely about, even you going through some life secrets and deception that you just realize, right? With children, with men, with women, whatever, however it resonates with you. But it's also about your spiritual gifts, right? That's why the ancestors say whatever you're inspired to do to change and shift, whatever it is that you're going through, you control it, right? So, and that's a positive thing, because if you control the outcome of whatever it is that you're going through, you can change it, right? And what I'm showing here, that with the energy that is here, all it is you going through a healing period. And to be able to change that, it takes some time and it takes some energy for you to be able to do these things for yourself. And if you put your mind to it, through the trauma and the drama that you're going through, you can do it. Okay. A lot of energy here about you've been restricted on some things. You may be feeling like you're restricted on some things. I got a lot of energy showing that you've been going through some major trying times, water, right? You feel like things are going backwards for you. And the ancestors is showing that there is definitely some energy here that, the trauma, right? I have a lot of trauma here. You even being very emotionally unstable, but that's also that time of change that you're going through. It's like the full moon will change some of that energy, though. Okay. And I feel like it's like a time of judgment for you, right? You're going through the Mars element of things, and what you're trying to change is maybe some of you, your skills and things that you want to try to learn, the aspect of your craft. You might be trying to change that to try to help yourself, to relieve yourself. Some of you, water, have a lot of Leo in your chart, or you may have that Leo element that's somewhere, around you, that's it's bringing a lot of pressure, because Mars is in Leo right now, and Mars is the element that's on your law of inspired action. So either you're aggressively confident, or you need to be, okay? Because that's what the ancestors is showing. Because what you're going through a lot right now is energy around financial needs, your physical needs, things like that. You really, really, really are, going through it, right? And it's a lot here about that. I even have Pisces here now, and still that Gemini energy, Aries, Leo, Capricorn, Virgo, and Gemini is here for my water element. Okay, so if you're any of the, and then Scorpio very strongly could be going through this. But it's definitely showing that, to change and to continue to heal, it's all of the aspect on your soul, is also about, don't get too hung up on the things that you don't have. Continue to think positive and raise your vibration, because the way that you're going to attract new things into your life is by understanding that you have to have faith in your beliefs. Okay, so focusing on the positive thoughts, having positive thoughts. Remember, your emotions affect your thoughts, and remember, your water element, or this is water element read messages, so it's all about your thoughts. Okay, in reference of how you're dealing with what you're enduring. But I do feel that in the law of compensation, you have been dealing with a lot of restrictions, things holding you back. You feeling like your future has been restricted in some way, but ancestors said it's all about informed decisions. You making the informed decision, you listening to your intuition, and you understanding that things can change and shift based off of what you, right? Because I am seeing that you're going through some pressure times right now, right? You're going through some very aggressive times right now, but it's all about change for you. Okay, I have a lot of that here for you, and endurance, right? And what you've been going through majorly is some of you even healing, right? It's been a challenge. Childhood traumas are affecting your life at this time in some way, or even your finances, like I said, and or love, So or mother-daughter issues. I just did a shadow work session about mother-daughter issues. I have that here. But instances said, all in all, it's about using your discernment and communication, right? So that's what you truly have to conquer, water, in reference of coming out of this energy. Show yourself love, right? Because it's like making sacrifices through selfless love. So that's paying it forward, and also doing that for yourself. The energy that's here in reference of your endurance is emotional interventions that you need, right? To help you come out of this energy of feeling like there's something you can't succeed at, but really in actuality, you can. And it looks like you will, right? But you just got to continue to follow through with everything that you need to understand is all about, remembering your mental well-being that is attached to your emotions, water. Okay, I'm feeling very psalm, right? Because right now it could be that you're going through a segment of stagnant energy, and the ancestors are saying, you can come out of this stagnant energy. But it's about release. It's about the change that's coming in. Yeah, I do feel that you will. The healing is here. It's like a healing transformation of your energy, with just healing all the way around for you, water. And that could be behind some type of situation with the mother, or a daughter, something of that sort, because I keep getting mother-daughter energy here a lot, right? And that could be past, present, or future, okay, in reference of things being healed from the past or ongoing, okay? So I feel that strong, yeah. And once again, it came right back out with that strife energy, right? But it still gives the energy of you control the outcome. You definitely control the outcome. And the ancestors just want you to know, lean on them, right? Lean on them. And, a lot of this is also in reference of some type of legal situation. You're going to come out of it. I see that. Okay. You're going to definitely come out of it, but you have to break the cycles, water. You have to break the cycles, because a lot of times you're that water element. So you go with the flow, but you got to break that loop sometimes and step out of it or push out of that, and, step into what's truly yours in your birthright. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing here for you guys. Be very careful in reference of your nervous system. Work on that, in reference of your nerves, because that energy is also going back to, making you sick, right? Because if our nerves are bad, then that can make you sick internally, right? So you want to be very careful with that. And then you also want to be very careful in reference of, your heart, right? Because that's another thing that I'm seeing. And, your heart is, I'm just heard your heart is connected to your stomach. So you want to be very careful of those as well, right? And I want to give you an overall message in reference of, oh, I did. I already pulled that. Okay, so yeah, and so the answers just said, yeah, I told you about that. I was just making sure I covered all bases for you guys like I normally do, right? Because I don't like to leave anything out when I'm doing y'all messages for the element. And just to make sure that I'm covering everything, just make sure you are tapping in with your higher consciousness, okay? Because it's like the ancestors want you to understand that your mind, your emotions can control your mind, and that can throw off your higher consciousness, where it'll allow you not to be able to make the right decision. So just be careful. A lot of you have what we call PTSD, right? Where you're emotionally fearing, right? Because that fear was upside down. So you're trying to come out of fear, right? Of things that have happened in the past, but you're still under judgment. And that's coming back up in reference of some type of restricted behavior or something being restricted. But understand you can come out of that, right? With the faith over fear and, being with your ancestors, all of that. Did I say Aries too? So Aries was here as well. You got a little bit of all the signs, but the main message to you today, water, is you control everything. All right. So that's the main message for you. Much love to you. I hope this resonates for you. Much love. I'll see you guys soon. Peace, water, peace.